I want to say thanks to Area for sponsoring this video. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to make super simple shop cabinets. They are quick and easy, but they are also strong and durable. If you're needing basic cabinets for a shop, a laundry room, a bathroom, or anywhere else, check out this process. This, my friends, is what we're going for. There is no fancy joinery and there is no hardware other than screws. I have a bare bones but super functional drawer system that will allow you to skip the expensive hardware. Also, something unique about this design is there's no toe kick. Instead, I'm going to be building a platform, and I'll get into details on why that saves headache later on. For now, let's cover materials. I'm using MDF for most of my components because it's inexpensive and stable. Those are some great qualities of MDF. However, it does have a reputation, which is accurate, that if it gets wet, even a little bit, it will swell and be ruined. So these days, when building with MDF, I'm using an exterior rated MDF called Armorite, made by a company called Roseburg. Yes folks, that means it can get wet and not be ruined. This stuff is rated for outdoor use, which is insane, but I've even made trim and signs from it. Armorite contains borate to resist rot and termites. It's easy to see another advantage when cutting this Armorite. It cuts so much smoother than regular MDF. You don't have any of those fuzzy edges. Now, of course, I have a CNC, well, a few of them actually. So I've worked up a model for my CNC to cut all of my squares and rectangles. If you don't have access to a CNC, then of course a track saw and table saw will do the exact same job. However, if you're interested in saving time, then I do have a model with a CNC cut file of this design. So let's go ahead and start assembling. I personally love working flat whenever possible, so I'm going to attach the drawer components on the side pieces first. These 3 pieces will act as my drawer slide later. For placing the support, since I'm making a few of these, I cut myself a spacer block to the correct distance to easily locate where the support rail needs to be installed. I set my spacer flush with the top side. You'll notice I have a notch cut out that will also locate how far back from the front edge it needs to be placed. Next, I apply wood glue to the back of the support and stick it in place. After I set the front using a brad nail, I use a spacer on the back to make sure it's the same distance. Next, I repeated on the other side. This ensures the drawers will be level. Next, I applied the slides. Don't get me wrong, full extension, soft closing drawer slides are nice, but when I'm building cabinets or drawers for my shop, I just can't justify the expense. So a way to get around that is to use something called masonite. It's a thin material that typically comes rough on one side and smooth on the other. It's an 1/8 inch, so you don't waste a ton of space, but it's easy to get your hands on, and more importantly, creates a smooth surface for a drawer to slide in and out of. I'm taking 2 strips and placing them in a 90-degree orientation, starting with the strip that will rest on the top of the support. Next, I butt another strip on the top side. For both of these, I'm using the fast-curing Weldwood instant adhesive so that I don't have to throw brads in it. Brads will make the material mushroom out at the head, which will defeat the purpose of a smooth, slick surface. Okay, and that's all we can build flat, so now let's stand it up and turn this into a box. I'm going to attach the bottom first. I'm using the Weldwood wood glue on all the remaining joints. Apply a bead to the edge, make sure that the sides are flush to the front and back, and then use a few brad nails to tack it in place. Moving up the carcass, I add the drawer opening pieces. The lower one goes against the drawer support piece and now supports the hardboard on the front. The upper one is aligned to the top of the box. Moving to the back, I build out yet another 90-degree by first attaching the top board, flush to both sides, then positioning the second board right underneath it. Just my personal process, I use brad nails to hold everything enough while I'm assembling. But once everything is positioned and looks good, meaning I didn't attach anything backwards, which I am known to do, I go back through and use trim head screws to fully secure everything. With standard MDF, I get a lot of flaking or mushrooming around nails and screw heads, but with this Armorite, you get none of that. The screws I used here are really cool too. They're made by Sense & Strong-Tied and have reverse threads near the head, and this forces parts together as you're screwing in. It's brilliant. They also have a self-drilling tip that eliminates the need for pre-drilling on most jobs. The last thing to attach is the back. This is also made from hardboard and is attached using a stapler. Again, a brad nail will mushroom out the material. And ta-da! That, my friends, is a cabinet that can be built in under 10 minutes. Now let's go on to making the drawers. Sticking along the same lines of simplicity, but fast and functional, these drawers are made up of 5 pieces. The sides from 1/2-inch plywood and the bottoms again from that 1/8-inch hardboard. The sides are assembled by glue and brad nails. I've been assembling drawers with this method for years, and even fully loading them down, I've never had one fail. After throwing in the brads, I placed the bottom on. I again cut these slightly undersized and used it to check for square as I attached them. Also note, on this hardboard, I'm placing the rough side inside. This way the smooth side is down, which, now let's take this over to our carcass. The 2 smooth sides will glide nicely against each other, making for a very smooth operating drawer. Before calling the drawer done though, one last thing to ensure strength, I placed a trim head screw at the top of each joint. The drawer bottom strengthens the lower part of the joint, and one screw strengthens the top. Set all of that aside, and now let's attach the doors before attaching the drawer faces. Let me pause and thank this video sponsor, which is Ariat. I grew up in their boots. Last year I was introduced to their women's workwear line, and now I have expanded into their casual clothing as well. Whether you're in the market for men's or women's workwear, boots, or casual, Ariat truly does have you covered. They're a company founded on technology and innovation with the goal of making high quality, long lasting attire. Ariat is one of the first companies I know of that created a women's workwear line that was designed by women. It kind of seems obvious, but as a woman in the trades, I have found it very frustrating that I really only have men items to choose from. So this is really big for women in the industry. It's a small thing, but I love having a pocket I can put my entire hand into. Yes, I love that Ariat not only came out with this dedicated line to women, but they're also expanding on all their other lines and creating brand new ones every time I look. Yes, you can count on that I'm picking up some of those polos for the golf course. If you'd like to check out some Ariat gear, then know that you can save 10% off your first order by using the link down in the description. For hardware, I'm going with Euro hinges, which are great as they give you 3 different ways of adjustability. You can buy a template for them. However, you can also easily make a scrap wood jig instead. As you can see, I have 3 holes here. The center one will mark where I need to counterbore with a Forstner bit to accept the round part of the hinge. Then the 2 outermost holes will be the location for the screws to hold the hinge in place. Attach the hinge to the door first, and the hinge will come with screws. Next we'll attach the entire assembly to the carcass. I place a little spacer at the bottom on the inside of the cabinet to rest the hinges on. Then simply screw the hinge to the body. If your doors don't fit square, don't worry. The hinges have screws you can turn to make adjustments. With the doors in, now I can move up, place a small spacer, and this is whatever gap you want your cabinets to have, then rest the drawer face on the spacer. Now I can just reach inside and attach it with 2 screws. For hardware, you can get anything off the shelf. However, it's a shop, so I made my own shop hardware. I'm using angle aluminum cut to size. I just drilled a few holes so that I could place them on top and screw them in. I will have to remove them for painting, but I couldn't resist testing it out to see how it looked. And I think it looks pretty cool. Now that the cabinets are built, they can be installed wherever they're needed. I'm putting mine in a new shop build out. I'm renovating this metal building and turning it into a shop space. I didn't paint this lower wall here because I want to create cabinets and have a desk for some sort of office area. Since it's a metal building, I first needed to frame up a wood wall and attach it to the metal girts, which are the horizontal members. I quickly skinned it using plywood, then gave a quick coat of paint to match the walls. Alright, wall is in place, now to hang the cabinets. Before, I mentioned not having a toe kick, and that's because building one platform for the cabinets to sit on is far easier. Instead of shimming and leveling each cabinet individually, the platform can be leveled and shimmed, then secured to the wall. And now the cabinets don't have to be fussed with. They can be set into place, and as long as they're sitting on the level platform, they're going to be level. First thing to do once the cabinets are in place is to secure them to each other. Know that there are screws that are perfect for hanging cabinets. Some people even call them cabinet screws. These are made by Simpson Strong-Tied, and I'll leave you a link down in the description. They have an enlarged head that won't sink into the material and a long portion without threads below the head. These two things together allow the screw to pull cabinets tightly together and tight against the wall. I mean, who wants to get up when you can just scoot? Next was to secure the cabinets to the platform. Perfect. Now to the wall. I placed a few screws to hold the cabinets down. Then I found the studs in the wall and secured the cabinets to the back so they couldn't be pulled away. It's tornado proof. Now I hopped up and installed the uppers. I just realized I skipped over painting. I mean, there's nothing really to discuss, but I just find it weird I completely missed this step. On painting, I did go with a pop of color to contrast the walls, and I suppose it's worth mentioning that Armorite takes paint beautifully. Unlike standard MDF, the cut edges don't feel like sandpaper when painted. Also, the light color of Armorite makes it perfect for light paint colors like mine. For installing the uppers, I first figured out my dimension on where I wanted them hung. Then I used a few spacers to achieve that height and act as a standoff while installing. Again, using these Simpson cabinet screws here to pull the cabinets into the wall flush without the head sinking into the material. Now it's just a lot of final details that are very flexible depending on your use of the space and the cabinets. I personally installed shelf hardware so that I could throw in some shelves, not only on the lowers, but also on the uppers. I installed all of the hardware pulls, and I made all of the horizontal pulls to be full length, but on the uppers, I made them to only be a third and placed them vertical. Since there is a good amount of space between my two upper cabinets, I hung a few more lengths of right angle so that I could attach some shelving. And a tip, a hollow core door ripped down the center is a cheap and easy way to get long-lasting shelving. You'll just need to reinforce the back cut with a few scraps since the door is hollow. Perfect. Now, last thing is to add a countertop. Of course, there's a million ways to build a countertop, but I simply grabbed the leftover Armorite I had and layered it up. I gave it a quick coat of paint, then went to the inside of the cabinets to secure it down with the cabinet screws. Now let me pop in all of the drawers and I'm going to call this one done. What's funny is some kitchens don't even have such nice looking cabinets. And look how easy that was. I really hope that this video has inspired you to consider making your own cabinets regardless of what room you're needing them in. Once all of the parts are cut, it took me a day to build them and another day to install them. But even if it took you 5 times longer, you'd be saving yourself a ton of money and hopefully you would find some fun in the process. You can check the description for a link to everything I've used in the video, as well as my website for a set of plans and a CNC cut file for this design. Up next on the shop build is a loft. I'm going to be building a loft right above these cabinets, so stay tuned if you're interested. I will see you then.